It is official now. This banner has become this banner. Can you spot the difference? This banner has become this banner. That is correct. In this first picture, Lucius's crossbow is not growing, and it is in the second picture. Of course, I'm kidding. No, originally this was supposed to be a 2x by 15x coming this weekend with Lucius, Razak, and then Bubba, aka Beelzebub. And now Bubba has been replaced by Zarus. Zarus is not a bad hero at all, but I think for a large portion of us, this is really disappointing. I'm going to break it all down for you, how I know it for sure, what it all means big picture when it comes to what to do with our summons, when to do with our summons, why to do with our summons, who to do with our summons, so on and so on. So we know about this from a few sources, right? There was information in the game file shared with us by Rokanchi and the rest of the Leak Boys. It was then corroborated when this video came out today saying Zarus is coming. Also, we're getting news internally as content creators that he's going to be one of the rate up new heroes this weekend. And on top of all of that, kind of cool video here. On top of all of that, we go to Facebook. Hey, look at this. We're excited to introduce two new heroes. Introduction of new heroes, Kagiri and Zarus. They are going hand in hand, guys. So confirmed, Zarus, Lucius, Razak will be running as a 2x, 15x concurrently with the Kagiri special event 250 limited banner. And also confirmed, Zarus is replacing Bubba on the banner. So how long we gotta wait for our guy, my favorite hero in the game? Let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
All right, guys, so here we are on the Fastidious test server. Let me quickly go to the gallery just to introduce y'all to the heroes in case somehow you've missed it. I have made videos on both of these heroes. They're pretty darn exciting new units. They're both very good. The difference is I think Zarus is going to be a fairly niche but very fun new summoner. Going to be very strong in Gear Raid 1. Going to be very nice in AoE Arena. People are theorizing already some very strong Guild Wars teams for him, but he's not going to be this universal use him everywhere kind of hero. You know who is? Bubba, aka Beelzebub. Bubba, as I like to call him, is going to be the new best inspiration hero in a lot of content, and that is even at A0. As you get awakenings into him, as you get him all maxed out and beautiful, it's going to be definitive. There will be some content where maybe you're running an Infernal team or a Watcher team or an Arbiter team, so you're choosing Dolores or Constance respectively. But in general, he's going to be our god. He also has the best AoE magic vulnerability in the game, full stop. And he has the most consistent AoE slow uptime in the game, full stop. He's a thrilling hero. If that wasn't enough for you, go watch my video for specifics, but I'll give you one more nugget. He is a top 5 normal unit in the entire game for BP. So if you need good affiliation numbers on your demon soldiers, if you care about Guild Wars, this is a non-ancient exclusive unit that is going to absolutely deliver in an enormous way. So naturally, even though Zarus should be pretty darn juiced up and should be the kind of hero a lot of people, if you have the summons to do it, should go for, like me, for example. I've got a nice little stash right now. I am holding out for Twylan Hex. We'll mention that in just a minute. But I'll try to hit at least 1, if not 2 legendaries on his banners to see if I can get lucky, get him for the collection. And I think there's places in the future where he's really, really going to shine, on top of helping with some PvP stuff for me now. In general, there are a lot of new things coming in terms of banners and new heroes. The big update is happening tonight. When this video goes live, the update will be coming in like 2 or 3 hours. I'm going to cover it a ton tomorrow on a bunch of streams and stuff. It's going to be a load of fun. With that comes the introduction of at least 4 new legendary heroes. Zarus is one of them. Unfortunately, all things are pointing to the fact that Bubba will not be one of those heroes. Is this the end of the world? Is the sky falling? What does this mean? I think my guess, because let's just show you that artwork one more time. I mean, it could not be more clear as day, right? This was the old 2x by 15x, Lucius, Bubba, Razak, and what did they do? Well, they just went into Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever they do to create their images, and they cropped him out and they pasted Zarus over. That's it, right? So they clearly had some kind of internal conversation, evaluation where they decided we need to delay Beelzebub, we need to delay Bubba. What could have spurred that on? Could it be a certain content creator talking about him nonstop for over a month now? Now, I had nothing to do with this, obviously, right? Sure hope not. But more realistically, I think a lot of people covered him, obviously, and a lot of people, there's been a lot of chatter, and I think maybe they were like, we can make a whole thing out of this, right? We could put Bubba on a crazy banner and make it a very hype thing that could bring in the bucks. You know, looking at Artemis over here, they made a big hype bringing a new, granted fairly niche, but super duper strong hero like Artemis in on a very strong banner alongside Hotsit. I believe that might have been the first 15x ever, right? So a definitive triple S normal hero in Hotsit paired with a super desired and needed at that point Artemis that also looks so freaking cool. Why not run it back and do some of the same? You know, we've got Bubba right here. Maybe they reflect and they're like, hey, for our bottom line, what if we paired him with Silas? You know, that would kind of be the equivalent. What if we paired him with Elwin? Can you imagine that? A Bubba Elwin banner? Like, there'll be holes in wallets and pockets the world over of anyone that plays Watcher Realms. It'd be pretty crazy. There is a direct option of what it could be, though. Let me pull this up right now. There is another instance of, or another already generated piece of banner artwork in the game file. So this is something Rokanchi and Panther, rest of the League Boys, Destin, they all discovered, I think at this point, at least 2 months ago. And this, if you don't know, that's Xena, another new hero who seems to be fairly niche. So more of that Artemis type hero, but where she's strong, she's going to be tremendously strong. Crazy magic DPS burst cycling on and off the field. Kind of a mix between like a legendary Amani mixed with a Zealatu kind of vibe. Maybe pair her with a very likely triple S or a very high S+. We'll have to see in practical application. But, you know, potentially a top 5 unit in the game when Bubba comes. That probably would be very successful. So I think they just kind of went to the drawing board and decided that. It does seem he is delayed at least until November the 15th. So why do I say that? Well, if you go to the Leaker's Lair, if you ever want up-to-date stuff, you don't want to have to wait for a Destin video or wait even longer for one of my videos, go to Destin's Discord, go to the Leaker's Lair. Rokanchi posted all his predicted dates for all the banners. Before any of you guys say, well, he got Kagiri wrong, that was a totally separate, different issue. That's something that was like kind of like lying, latent, dormant in the game file for over a month at that point. So he couldn't use his normal predictive processes, at least that's how I understand it. But everything else looks pretty darn lined up, and so far he's been dead right. I'm gonna have a full video on all the predicted banners and dates tomorrow. And the point of that video, you know, Destin made a similar video already. The point of my video is going to be like already giving you like a broad should you summon on all of those banners. So as you approach the weekend after weekend after weekend of banners we have coming now, a lot of fresh banners, not just rerun banners, you can have in the back of your mind my advice and maybe advice in the comments and advice from other content creators on where you should focus, how you should focus your summoning. So that lineup that Rokanchi set up goes until November the 8th. There is not a Beelzebub, there is not a Bubba in sight. So the earliest it could be is the weekend after November the 8th. So that would be November the 15th. I would be completely and utterly shocked if he does not come with the next update. So I know there's an update happening like right now, tonight. But, you know, 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now, when the next update comes, the pre-Thanksgiving update, that should have a lot of great features as well. That, of course, you will hear me talking about in the coming weeks. Don't you worry about it. I'm certain Bubba will be folded into that. Very likely Xena 2, very likely Tallulah. There's a lot of those new heroes that we're not seeing in this patch as it stands now. Could this be the banner? Bubba and Xena? Absolutely. Could they go absolutely balls to the wall and pair him with like a Silas? If I was them, I would do something like that. Pair him with an Elwin, the entire realm would shatter into a million pieces. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an update on the delay where everything stands. Almost, let's call it 99.9%, almost confirmed that Bubba Beelzebub is not coming in this patch. He will not be on a banner until November the 15th at the earliest. Take it all with a grain of salt. They're all just predictions, but there is no live banner like ready to be activated in the game file the way there is for all the banners I'm going to go over tomorrow, or you can check out on Destin's Leaker's Lair already. Just go there and search for Rokanchi's most recent post about upcoming summoning banners. It is as simple as that. Don't you worry. Of course, I will cover Zarus in pretty darn good detail. We'll put a guide out him before his banner comes on Friday. It's going to be a good pity manipulation opportunity banner because Zarus is good, Lucius is very good, and that will run concurrently with the limited for Kagiri. And everyone keeps asking me if I'm going to put out Kagiri stuff. Of course I am. Plan on seeing it on Wednesday. It might come earlier already tomorrow if I'm really on top of my stuff. But do not worry, this whole week and weekend is going to be a Kagiri palooza, kind of nut stuff. And then Zarus, not to be totally buried under all of that. He'll be featured as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. You know, I mentioned it at the start of my video 2 days ago, and we got over 100 new subscribers, so that means a lot. Keep clicking that button, click that thumbs up, share with your mother. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.